Okay. So when Superman and Lois, well, not even Superman and Lois, when the Crisis on Infinite Earths event happened, Superman and Lois only had one kid, and that was Jonathan. When the Crisis event was over, they had both Jonathan and Jordan. And I wasn't really sure how I felt going into this with Superman essentially having like twin sons, but it seems as though for Jordan, his character is following the story beat of Johnathan Kent Superboy from the comics, which is his powers are extremely volatile. Sometimes they're there, other times they're not. And then eventually, as he develops and as he grows, his powers will be either on the same level or slightly higher than that of his father. For Johnathan Kent himself on the TV show, it looks as though his story beat is going to be following the story beat of Connor Kent from Young Justice. Not the whole clone situation, but the drug patch situation. So, one of the story arcs from Young Justice surrounding Connor Kent is essentially his powers are about half of those of Superman. He can't fly, he doesn't have the laser vision, can't do frost breath, he has strength, agility, and speed. He's a diluted Kryptonian. Lex Luthor developed a patch that once he put it on, he would get 100% access to all of his Kryptonian abilities. Essentially, I forgot how Lex explained it. Lex explained it that it basically suppresses the human qualities in his DNA and allows his Kryptonian qualities to shine. We're going down that exact same route. Nothing good will come of the fact that Jonathan's going to be taking X Kryptonite, because essentially he's already half Kryptonian. Now, for someone like the douchebag on the football team, when he takes X Kryptonite and he gains those enhanced abilities, it's basically enhancing his abilities as a human being. We saw that one guy who took like a mega dose of it and was able to fight Superman, but at the exact same time, you could say that Clark was essentially weakened from his connection with the thing in the mines. For Jonathan, when he takes X Kryptonite, I 100% believe his human side is going to be suppressed, and the Kryptonian qualities in his DNA are going to be enhanced, which he's going to have the same abilities essentially as his father, which is, and I'm wondering if they're going to dive right into it or if they're going to slowly build up to it where he kind of gets addicted to it, kind of the same way that Superboy did, because in Young Justice, at first it was just something that he was taking to essentially be able to assist the team when things were dire, extremely serious. But as Young Justice progressed, especially in that season, he began getting addicted to the feeling of being 100% Kryptonian. And he kept taking it with or without whatever the hell was going on. Now, I can't remember whether or not his, as he took more of it, it became less and less potent for him. There was something going on the back end. Like, Luthor had him on a leash, essentially. And the more and more he took the patch, the more and more immune he became to it, I think was the story beat from Young Justice. There's something extra going on. I don't know whether or not they're going to be following that route with Jonathan's character, but it's definitely interesting to see that essentially he's going to become addicted to XK. Ugh, I don't want that to happen. Like, I really feel as though both Jonathan and Jordan are those rare situations where teenage characters are written really well, where in a lot of other shows, when you encounter a teenage character, they're kind of annoying and they don't really fit. Whereas in Superman and Lois, both Jonathan and Jordan both have like their story arcs, and where Jordan's story arcs basically going the route of Superboy, Jonathan's story arc was kind of languishing a little bit. So it's interesting to see that his story arc is going to be the more darker of the two, where Jordan started off being the more darker character with his mental issues and the way in which he views himself, imposter syndrome, all that type of stuff. Johnathan definitely started off up here, where he was basically the ace of football team, dating the hottest girl in high school. He basically had like this normal jock persona. That's essentially flipped because now Jordan's Superboy and everything for him is going great, whereas for Johnathan everything is spiraling and it looks as though he may end up in the exact same kind of dark situation that Jordan did, which is funny because before the series even started, there were, I don't even want to say them like theories. Yeah, I would say there were theories that Jordan and Johnathan would end up butting heads, where because Jordan started off a lot darker, people thought that when Jordan got powers, he'd end up like Brightburn. But it really looks as though if Jonathan's the one who's going to be taking drugs, the drugs are going to be messing with his mind, because you kind of saw that the guy who took the drugs in the airport, it messed with his head. It really seems as though we are moving towards a Superboy versus Superboy type of finale. And I'm absolutely going to love it. It's going to be interesting to see like this entire story arc play out. But yeah, how do you feel about them having Johnathan basically do the Superboy from Young Justice drug addiction storyline? I really don't want my boy to be on drugs, but if this is essentially a sacrifice we're going to have to make so that we can give my man some powers, I don't want to say that this is the route we're going to have to take, but listen, this is the route we're going to have to take. But comment below, let me know how you feel, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.